But what I'm going to show you next is probably the single most important thing, because I know some of you are like, oh, this is taking a while, but what I'm going to show you next is one of the most powerful things I can show you about how this system, the money multiplier method, works. And I'm going to show you a real life example. I'm going to show you one of our clients. This client was a chiropractor. Okay. He was a chiropractor that got himself into a lot of debt. How much debt? Well, let's look. He owed Discover $2,300, Lowe's $9,500, Nordstrom $9,700, Wells Fargo credit card $11,000. He had a private loan for his practice for $15,000. He bought a BMW and had a loan for $22,000. He had a boat, because when you got a house on a lake, why not have a boat? He had a boat for $67,000 loan, condo on the lake for $135,000, and his house was $205,000. So out of the total of all of that, this chiropractor had total debts of $478,774. He's 45 years old. He's got 9 third-party debts, $478,000 in debt, and his total monthly payments to all of these debts is $5,777 a month. $69,000 a year is going to somebody else. That's more money than some people make. So when this chiropractor saw us do this presentation, he said, can you help me? And we said, well, we think so. And we said, well, how much money are you saving? And he says, well, between my 401k and my savings, I'm putting away about $25,000 a year. And we said, well, how do you come up with that number? He says, well, in my practice, a lot of my patients pay me with insurance, but some of them pay cash. Every week I figured out how much money comes in cash, and I save that money. So all he was doing, he wasn't changing anything in his life to do what I'm going to show you. He simply changed where his savings went first. That's all. It's very important that you understand we're not having this chiropractor work any harder. He's not going to work any longer. He's not going to take on any additional risk, and he's not going to lose control of his money. He's just going to change that one thing and add that one step, which is that specially designed and engineered whole life. So when we asked him and we ran the math, we said, how long will it take you to pay off all this debt? He took the $25,000 he was saving, divided that into the debts of $478,000, and that means it would have taken him 19 years to pay off all these debts, doing what the bank wants him to do. Folks, what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you how this chiropractor paid off all of this debt, every penny of this debt, not in 19 years. I'm going to show you how we did it in 6.5 years. 6.5 years without this chiropractor working any harder, without him changing anything, without him saving any more money, without him working any harder or giving up any control of his money, and without him taking on any risk. Folks, I'm going to show you exactly how we did this, and it starts right here. Year number 1, he changed where his money went first. So instead of putting $25,000 in his savings in his 401k, he put it in this specially designed and engineered whole life. And we applied what we call the mapping process. This is what we do for all of our clients, and I'm going to show you how it works, but we create a custom map showing exactly what your goals are, whether it's buying cars or paying off debt or anything you want to do. We create a map that will show you 2 years into the future what this does. What you're going to see here is an abbreviation of what the map will do for you. We do not charge for the map. It is a free service. If we do your banking policy for you, if you come to us for this, we do your mapping and your back-end banking services for free. It's just the least we could do. So here's how we did it, folks. Year 1, the chiropractor took the $25,000 and deposited into this specially designed and engineered whole life. Okay, so he deposits $25,000 and he immediately, in the first 30 days, takes out the full amount he can, which is roughly 60% of the $25,000. So he takes a loan from the insurance company for $14,863. So that $14,863 is a loan that he takes from his policy, okay? And taking a loan from his policy is pretty unique. So how this works is we have $25,000 that we deposit. The insurance company agrees to pay us 4% plus the dividend on all $25,000. But when we take that loan for $14,863, the insurance company never takes our money. The insurance company loans us money from their general account. Essentially, that loan that the insurance company gives us, that loan doesn't ever have to be paid back. So this $14,863 that we take as a loan against our policy, that loan is collateralized by the deposit. The 25,000 that's earning 4% collateralizes that 14,000, but the loan is nothing more than the insurance company giving us part of our death benefit while we're living. So that 14,863 is subtracted from the death benefit the moment you take that loan. And the insurance company is going to charge you interest on that loan, which we're going to talk about in just a moment. But what are we going to do with this 14,863 that we just took out? Well, we're going to pay off debt. First, we're going to pay off Discover, we're going to pay off Lowe's, and we're going to pay down Nordstrom. In doing this, in year one, we take our debts and we paid down our debts. So now we owe $463,911. Okay. But what we're also going to do is we're going to take this $161 that we used to give to Discover, and we're going to take this $287 that we used to give to Lowe's, and we're going to recycle and recapture that money. In other words, we used to give that money to somebody else's bank. We're now going to take the same dollars and we're going to pay them back to our bank. So the monthly payments that used to be $57.77 are now only $53.29. $448 used to go to somebody else. And now what we're going to do is we're going to have you, just like we had this chiropractor, we're going to have you go to your local bank and you're going to open a segregated bank account. What is that? That's nothing more than you going to your bank and opening a brand new checking account. And what we're going to do is we're then going to set up a bill pay or an automatic transfer for $448, just like we did for this chiropractor. And you're going to take that $448 every month and you're going to deposit that money in your segregated bank account that you just opened. So why would we do that? Because you were used to giving $161 and $287 away to somebody else's bank. Now we're just going to deposit in your bank at your local community or conventional bank. So $448 every single month is what you are now saving instead of giving away to somebody else. So you follow what's going on. The insurance company is paying us 4% on the full amount of our deposit. We take a loan from the insurance company's general account for $14,863. That $25,000 deposit, $14,863 of that deposit collateralizes the $14,000 for the insurance company, and the insurance company subtracts $14,863 from our death benefit, making it so that this loan never needs to be paid back. And the insurance company charges you interest on that loan, but they're paying you interest. And if you remember earlier in this presentation, I showed you buying a car and getting a loan from that really good bank at 6%, and the bank is paying you 4%. That was a really good example to show you exactly what I mean. It is possible for you to make more earning the guaranteed 4% the insurance company is paying you, even if the insurance company charged you the highest interest they can of 6%. But just so you know, by today's numbers, 2020, the insurance company charges you 5% simple interest on the loan. And how much money are you earning on that $25,000? That's 4% plus the dividend, which by 2020 dividends puts you at about 6%. So you're making 6 and you're paying 5. You are making a spread of 1% in this example. I just wanted to be clear because in this training, I want you to understand this because this is brand new. But now let's move on to year number 2. Year number 2, we are going to do the same thing. The chiropractor is going to deposit $25,000 into this specially designed and engineered whole life. Then what we're going to do is we're going to immediately, in the first 30 days, that's what I mean by immediately, we're going to take a loan from our policy for $16,571, and we're going to then go into that that segregated bank account that we had you create at your local bank, where you put $448 a month. That now grew to $5,376. That $5,376 that is in your segregated bank account, that's money you used to give away to Discover and Lowe's. You now keep that money. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the $16,571 from the loan plus the amount in your segregated account, which is $5,376. You now have $21,945 to use. And what we're going to do is we're going to use that to pay off Nordstrom. We're going to pay off Wells Fargo's credit card. We're going to pay off that private loan that you had at 10%, and we're going to pay down your BMW. In doing all of this, your debt dropped to $378,013. This is only year 2, folks. And the amount of money that you're giving away to everybody else that used to be $5,777 is now $3,860, of which you are now keeping $1,917. which you put into that segregated bank account with a bill pay or a transfer. So how did that 1917 come to be? Well, we had the $400 and some dollars that we were saving from Discover and Lowe's, but now we have 276 that we used to give to Nordstrom, 271 that we used to give to Wells Fargo, 922 that we used to give away to that private loan. And we took those same exact monthly payments that you used to give away to everybody else, and we put them into your segregated account. That's the process that we're going to use for the money multiplier method here. So going on to year three. Year three, we're going to do the same thing, folks. We're going to deposit $25,000 into that specially designed and engineered whole life. And in the first 30 days, we're going to take a loan. But now look at this. This is impressive. In the first 30 days, after we deposit that $25,000, we're going to take a loan for $25,541. Isn't that much better than what we were looking at before? We put in 25, but we take out more than 25,000. Folks, what you're seeing happen here is what I talked about earlier, and I called it the marathon. You're seeing the impact of uninterrupted compound interest. You're seeing how the interest is starting to catch up and really build your plan. The first 2 years didn't look good, right? I put in 25 and I only had 14. Year two, I put 25 and I only had 16. But now year three, you put in 25 and now you take out 25,541, which is more money than what you deposited. So we're going to then take that 25,541, and this is an important part. I want to make this clear. You've now hit the efficiency point in your policy. This chiropractor, after year three, there's not a day that will go by in this chiropractor's life that he will make a deposit into this specially designed and engineered whole life where he will not get back more money than what he deposited. That's important. Okay, so $25,000 loan, plus we were putting $1,917 a month into that segregated bank account at your local bank, which now means that you have $23,000 of savings in that segregated account. So we're going to take the 25 from the loan plus the 23. We have $48,548. And what we're going to do in year three is we're going to pay off that BMW loan. We're going to pay off that boat. So this chiropractor is really excited to drive that BMW and take rides around the lake in that boat because they're both paid off, and we paid down the condo. It's 3 years in, folks. This chiropractor only owes $283,146. Okay, his monthly payments to everybody else is now only $2,100, not $5,700 like it was before. And he's saving $3,677 every month in that segregated account. Let's do a quick recap. The marathon that I spoke about earlier. Well, here's the marathon. In year one, we put in 25,000. In year two, we deposited 25,000. And in year three, we deposited another 25,000, totaling $75,000. But we took loans every year. We took a loan immediately. As soon as we made the deposit, we took the most amount out. So year one, we took 14,000. Year two, we took a loan for 16,000. In year three, we took a loan for 25,000. So over the 3 years, we took out $55,000 in loans, but we deposited 75,000. Now, how much money is left in your policy? Most of you, with your traditional way of thinking about how money works, would take the 75 minus the 55, and you would say, Chris, there's $20,000 left in my policy. But you would be wrong. There is not 25,000 left in your policy. You have 75 left in your policy. Because remember, all of these loans, every one of these loans that we took out of your policy, all these loans were money that the insurance company lent to you from their general account. And they just took these loans from your death benefit. So all they did is they took your death benefit and they subtracted this loans, so equals the net death benefit. That's all they did. So these loans were just an advance of your death benefit. Sorry, my handwriting's pretty crappy there. So the 75,000 that you deposited, every penny of that is earning 4% plus dividends, 4% plus the dividend, which, like I said, depending on what company we use for yours, is roughly about 6% in 2020. In all transparency, dividends can change. They are not guaranteed, but the 4% is 100% guaranteed. So folks, Every penny of your $75,000 has been earning interest and dividends the entire time, even though you took $55,000 of that out. This is what the wealthy understand. This is what the wealthy know, and this is what you now know. You now have a method and a way to earn uninterrupted compound interest on every penny of your savings while still having access to use some, or pretty soon you're going to see all of your money. So let's get back into the chiropractor's journey here. We're now in year 4. Year 4, we're going to just continue doing the same thing. We're going to deposit $25,000 and we're going to immediately take out the max loan, which is $26,304. We put in 25 and we just took out $26,304. That's pretty darn good. But we were also putting $36.77 a month into that segregated bank account. That $36.77 again is nothing more than the monthly payments you used to give away to Discover, Lowe's, Nordstrom, Wells Fargo, the private loan, BMW, and West Marine. The chiropractor used to give this money away to everybody else. He's now putting it in his account. So that totals $44,124. So if we add the cash value, the loan, $26,304 plus the $44, we have $70,000 in year 4. So what are we going to do? We're going to pay down the condo. But unfortunately, in year 4, when we pay the condo down, and all of you, you have a house, if you pay your mortgage principal down, does your monthly payment change? No. And nor does the chiropractor. So his monthly payments stayed the same, but his amount owed is now $162,324. The amount he's giving away to everybody else is still $2,100, and the amount he's putting every month into his segregated bank account is $36.77. So now we're in year 5. We're almost there, folks. Stay with me. Year 5, we deposit $25,000 in his specially designed and engineered whole life. We take a loan for $27,090. Plus, we take the amount out of his banking policy, or not banking policy, excuse me, his segregated bank account, which is $54,672, meaning he has 54 plus the 27 is 81,762. So we take the 81,762 in year 5 and we pay off the condo, okay, and we pay his house down to 80,562. So now 5 years into this, without changing anything in his life, without working harder, saving more money, without taking on any risk, and without giving up any more control of his money, actually he took back control of his money. What happened? Well, his debts are now 80,562. The only money he owes is on his primary house. His monthly payments that he's giving away to everybody else are only $1,221, his monthly mortgage payment, where he's saving $4,556 a month, money he used to give away to everybody else. He is truly building wealth by taking back the money he was giving away to everybody else, just like I showed you in the annual pattern of spending. But if this chiropractor stopped right here, would that be a good day in the office? Absolutely. All he owes is his primary house. But in any game, any professional sports game, do we stop right before the game's finished? No, we finish the game. Well, this chiropractor is going to finish the game. So we go to the final year, year 6. Year 6, the chiropractor wants to deposit the $25,000 in the banking policy, but he can't. You see, there's some rules, some IRS rules called the MEC 7 pay rule. Now, I'm not going to get into that here. We'll answer that on the call that we set up with you. But this chiropractor could not deposit the full $25,000 anymore. He hit his limit. So in year 6, the chiropractor could only deposit $10,000, not the $25,000, into that specially designed and engineered whole life. So he does. He deposits the most he can, $10,000, and he immediately, in the first 30 days, takes out $13,092. Now, let me ask all of you. If you deposited $10,000 into your local bank and 30 days later you went back and took out $13,000, what was the return on your $10,000 deposit? Let me give you a guess. Your return was 30%. Your actual return on that $10,000 deposit that year was 30%. 30% is what this chiropractor made in year 6. So he had $13,092 to use. He was saving $4,556. All money he was giving away, he was putting that in that segregated bank account. He's got $69,033. He was so excited at this point. He says, you know what? I want to continue putting that $25,000 away. So what do? We do the same thing every bank in every city, state, and town does. He opened a second branch. he opened a new branch office, which is a second policy. That second policy opened allowed him to put another $25,000 in. So he deposits $25,000 into the second banking policy. He now has two specially designed and engineered whole lives in his banking system. One he can put $10,000 in, one he can put $25,000 in. The $10,000 one is incredibly efficient because of all the uninterrupted compound interest. So he takes 13 from that. His 25,000 he puts in, same as before, he takes out 14. So 13,092 plus the 14,863 loan from branch office number 2, plus the amount of money he recaptured in that segregated bank account means that when you add them up, he has $97,588 to use. How much does he owe? $76,450. So we pay off his house. We are roughly 6.5 years into this journey with this chiropractor. This chiropractor is now 100% he is debt free. He's completely out of debt. He is now saving $5,777, which is going into that segregated bank account every month. That's just money he gave away. He's now saving that. So let's really take a look at that map. So what you saw was an abbreviation of what we do behind the scenes for you and for every one of our Money Multiplier clients. We don't charge for this service, but we create a map that looks like what you're seeing on the screen. This is the debt map. It shows your deposits into the specially designed and engineered whole life. It shows the loan we're going to take immediately in the first 30 days. It shows what we're going to pay off. There you can see it, the Discover and the lows. We brought them to zero, meaning we freed up 160 plus the 286. We took that and then we show that miscellaneous account right here. All the miscellaneous account is, folks, I want to bring this up because I've done this many times. This is nothing more than a segregated bank account in your local account. That's all this is. And all this 447.87 is this 160 plus this 286. And how much money did this chiropractor actually make? Well, he was given Discover 21%. So on this 160 he's paying back to himself, he's making essentially 21%. And right over here, 286.99, he was given 11% to Lowe's, so he's making 11%. But all of this is what we're going to be putting into that segregated bank account. The one thing we did not show in this is we didn't show why this chiropractor, after he was all done with this, why he didn't take this money and pay off the loan. Well, let's get into that because he does. He just didn't do it while he was paying the debt off. We used the segregated account because it was more efficient.